Yeah, it's gonna be 11. About 10 and a half. Try 10 and a half. Yes.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Next Stop Auction Block. I'm Katie Kaufman, and alongside of me is the manager of Superior Productions Purebred Division, Mr. Jason Barber, and we've been coming into your home each and every week to talk about our great purebred clients from across the country and all the auctions that they provide for some of our great customers that need new bulls. So Next Stop Auction Block certainly does provide that avenue for so many of you, and we just thank you each and every week for tuning in with us. Jason, we're winding down the purebred sales season for the spring, and I know that you've been very busy going to producers meetings all across the region to kind of talk about that, and maybe there's some folks at home that would like to attend a producers meeting.
Sure. Well, now that we are winding down with our purebred season, we do have time to do other things. I've actually only been to one producer meeting right now. It was in Durant, Oklahoma last week, and for those of you that do raise commercial calves and sell, whether it be with Superior or at your local sale barns, we'd like to invite you and everybody that does have an interest in possibly selling with Superior in the future to come attend one of these producer meetings. We are trying to team up with reps in the areas that they're being held at, along with some pharmaceutical companies and looking for some sponsors, and some seed stock clients of ours are also helping to host these. But for anyone who is interested in that, they sure need to give us a call because we'd like to have them.
Yeah, and I think, too, you can also visit superiorlivestock.com, and on our new website, you can just type in the town that you're in, and it'll bring all the reps that are really close within your region. And I'm sure one of those reps will be having a producers meeting or somewhere close to your region.
That's right. The reps that were at the one that I was at was Jim Gardner and Tim Bailey, and they helped to organize it, and it was actually refreshing to see and hear some testimonials from people who had been selling on Superior. But another great thing about these producer meetings is they also bring in a lot of customers or a lot of producers who don't sell with Superior. And when we bring in one of our seed stock clients, that's a chance for them to pick up some new buyers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's real beneficial. It's a good thing all the way around.
Yeah, we love that. Well, I know I was talking to Gene Shipman, and he's actually up in Happy, Texas, and he had his producers meeting just a few weeks ago, and he said there was more than like 300 to 400 people there. So a lot of people attend. So not only can you see old friends, but you can also make some new ones along the way. And if you have any fellow ranchers that are your neighbors and haven't had the opportunity to meet them, this would be a certainly good time to do that.
And we've been starting most of these producer meetings at 6 p.m. in the evening. Have a nice dinner and give a short presentation, and then that's about it.
So, and I think too, Jill Rourke in our Fort Worth office, she's actually in charge. Okay, so she's coordinating that. So folks, if you do want to attend one of these producers meeting or find out when one is in your area, if you'd like to know more about Superior Livestock Auction, meet some of our reps, or even if we can twist your arm to come on board with us, we'd love that. And you can call Jill at 800-422-2117. Ask for Jill and she'd be able to answer that. But I know that so many of our reps love doing this and providing this for their customers and some new ones. So what did you speak on last week?
Well, I actually spoke on several of our back programs and went over some of the premiums that were given on various programs. And they weren't all back programs, but they're certified natural. I talked a little bit about Superior Progressive Genetics, but since we did have two pharmaceutical companies there as sponsors, it kind of tied in nicely to talk about these programs that bring in premiums and herd health management and that type of stuff.
Yeah, oh, that is so wonderful. Well, I think too, now that we are winding down the purebred season, this would be a good time to certainly get into more of our commercial cattle auction side of things. And now that we are winding down, what do you have to say for the season? I mean, I think you're pretty tickled with how everything went.
It's been a great spring. It's been our best spring yet. And actually, since our last show, we've had 9 auctions just since then. I think really we've just got 4 more to preview for the entire spring season. And they're spread out a little bit, but it's been a good spring. The prices have really been pretty good across the board. I was accurate with my prediction back at the start that the prices of bulls would be pretty good everywhere, but we weren't as up down here in the Southwest as what they were in Nebraska and the Dakotas and Montana and that region, but still, with the cattle market being the way it is, bull prices were steady all spring.
Yeah, that's so great. And I know that we've talked about the LeGrand Ranch complete dispersal so much that actually took place on April 14th. More than 900 head of cattle sold. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I know we're going to go into detail on this one later in the show, but it was a great auction. It's one that we've promoted since January. We ended up selling cattle to over 25 different states and sold like 200 lots. So, and we'll get
we won't just put it all out there. Yeah, really good. Okay, well, folks, after this commercial break, we'll come back with more production recaps. Like Jason said, and just in the last few weeks, we've had 9 purebred auctions as we are winding down the spring season before we get started on focusing on fall. It just never ends around here.
That's right, but we will have a few more sales. So if you're still needing a bull to turn out with cows this spring, then we've got one for you.
We've got one for you. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Next Stop Auction Block. And don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
I've got some customers that have cattle ready all the time, and we were trying to find a faster way to clean out their traps and be able to sell their cattle for them. And we listed some on the country page, and they already had a reputation of selling cattle. And some guys came on and bought them, and said, hey, that worked pretty good.
The country page is really good for being able to take advantage of upswings in the market. Just being able to sell our cattle or getting them on available for sale immediately, because the market changes so fast nowadays.
Usually within, I'm gonna say within an hour, I can call the office and I can have those cattle up. The cattle are highly represented and they're highly visible on the country page.
And the more people that see it, the better off that we're going to be able to market our cattle better, to get a better price for them and get the fairest price for our cattle mainly.
So far so good, and I'm glad Superior added the country page to one of their ways of marketing cattle.
Welcome back to Auction Block, folks. Jason's going to get into great production recaps that we've had just over the past few weeks here at Superior. Jason, we've had Rolling Rock, Spruce Mountain, Sonderup Charlet, 2 of which were first-time clients, which we absolutely love. But Rolling Rock was in a week all by itself. I think it was April 3rd. Kind of talk about what happened.
It was, and we've had Bill Davis as a client for a long time now, but he had an excellent sell up at Sidney, Montana. They reported 286 registered bulls, averaged 4,455, which is a really good average.
Yeah, that is really good. How many do we have? How many did we buy, or do you know the top sellers? Or
I don't remember what the top sellers were. We sold quite a few on Superior. We sold over $80,000 worth for them that day. So it was a pretty active day on our end.
Oh, really good. Well, I'm sure that they were happy, and we love having them as a client. Like you said, they've been with us for quite some time. Mm-hmm. Well, I think, Jason, for Rolling Rock, we do have a few of the front of the sale, rather, from Superior. So let's show it to the folks at home.
Sounds good.
And, folks, here is some of the high sellers from Rolling Rock Angus.
65 will you bet to 65? And 65 65 sold a bull, 6,000. 937 heading west. Let's go to 101. Boy, oh boy, take a look here. Lot number 101. 35 and down 4 for 45 5 45 now 5 55 55 55 5 on the front row 55 55 anybody else gonna go 55 will you bet to 55 sold out 5,000.
Moving on to Spruce Mountain Ranch, we had John Andrus on the show just a couple weeks ago, and he was actually the one that got in touch with Spruce Mountain and kind of made that all happen,
right.
Filmed the bulls and everything. So how did that turn out?
Well, he was there on sale day, and it turned out good. They're a first-time client. This actually kicked off our week where we had like 9 auctions over about a 5-day period.
Yeah.
So it was really, really busy this week. They're a first-time client. They sold a few bulls. They didn't sell a ton with us. But, it goes back to telling these people that it takes, 2 or 3 years sometimes to really get going. And I don't think Spruce Mountain's had a production sale for just a whole lot of years, like an Express Ranch or someone that we come in there and we sell several $100,000 worth of bulls right off the bat.
Sure. Well, I think moving forward, like you've said in the past shows, really 2 to 3 years, like you've said, is really when you're going to start to see a dynamic jump in bidders and really just credibility, reputation, and so on and so forth, having it broadcast on RFD.
Well, that's right. And they had good cattle. I mean, they still averaged close to $3,900 on the bulls, and they've got good sale management. They've got Cotton and Associates in there that help them, and I know those guys do a great job, and they'll continue to help their sale every year.
Well, I know I was putting their commercial together, and they sent me a lot of photos and images and things like that. But what a beautiful operation and a beautiful ranch.
Yeah, it really is a pretty place.
Yeah, really great. Well, now here's the front end of the sale of Spruce Mountain Ranch that did take place at their operation April 10th.
6,000. I've got 25 bid. 26,000. Now 27. 27. Well, we're not going to stop all day because we got some time restraints, but I think this bull is a big-time individual. He did the PAP. He's 42 at elevation at 71.23. The leadoff bull. A lot of cowboys have found him. A lot of cowboys seen him in Denver, and they found him again today.
26, 27,000, 657. I deliver down 27. I deliver down 27,000 on him. I deliver down 67. 27,000 on him. I deliver down 67. 27,000. Sold to you at 26,000. 26,000. He'll go to.
So moving from Spruce Mountain, we're going to go to Sonderup Charlet, another first-time client. And how did those beautiful Charlet bulls end up?
Well, it was a good sell, and it was Charlet, so it was a little bit of a change of pace for us. These are really high-performance, big-bodied, stout-made bulls. It was a really good sell. They're a first-time client with us, and we sold several bulls too, but it wasn't as many as what you've seen on these guys who are in their third
Been
or
here
fourth year
forever.
with us.
Yeah,
That's right.
sure. Well, that's really great. Where is Sonderup Charlet again?
It's actually in Fullerton, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Great. Really good.
We did sell bulls to 5 different states. I mean, we definitely sell some cattle on
Great.
this sale, but they're going to be one of those that they're going to see their full potential with us, 2 or 3 years.
Sure,
from now.
and they were on RFD TV
They
as
were on
well.
RFD.
So. Great. And now take a look at the front end of the sale at Sonderup Charlet.
35, if you get down 5 minutes, if you get down 3,500, if you get down 5 minutes, if you get down 2,500, if you get down 35, if you get down 5 minutes, if you get down 7.5, and 37,500, if you get down 4,000, if you get down 400, if you get down, you'll be 4, and 4,000, if you get down 37,500, if you get down 400, if you get down 4,000, if you get down 400, if you get down 2.5, and 4, if you get down 42.5, down 5, now 5 minutes, if you get down 4,500 on it, and 42,500, if you get down 5 minutes, if you get down 4,500, if you get down 5 minutes, if you get down, sold him, 42.50.
I can't believe I feel like we just have nothing to talk about hardly anymore just because we're winding down the season so much. But gosh, we've just had such a great spring purebred season. And like you said, your predictions were right here at the beginning of this show.
Some of them, not a little bit, some of them.
Well, we won't talk about the other ones. But anyway, when we come back, we'll be previewing a few more great auctions that we've had during that slew of auctions week before last. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. The Superior Spring Horse Auction will be Saturday, May 12th, live on RFD TV. From all around ranch horses, roping, reining, and cutting horses, this Superior auction is not to be missed. If you're in need of a Superior horse, what are you waiting for? Call us today for your buyer number at 800-431-4452 or go online to see the horses at superiorlivestock.com. Join Superior Livestock Auction all summer long at our biggest cattle auctions of the year. Mark your calendars now. June 7th and 8th will be in Council Bluffs, Iowa for our Corn Belt Classic. Followed by the largest family reunion in the cattle business, Week in the Rockies in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, June 25th through the 29th. Let's not forget about our good friends in our western region as we take over the town of Winnemucca, Nevada for a full week of fun July 23rd through the 27th. How about taking a trip to the Bighorn Mountains in beautiful Wyoming? Superior Livestock will be having our annual Bighorn Classic in Sheridan, Wyoming, August 13th through the 17th. Lastly, our Labor Day auction will wind up the summer season from Denver, Colorado, September 5th through the 7th. For more information, log on to superiorlivestock.com, and we'll see you this summer. Welcome back to Auction Block. We're going to get into more great recaps from some of our greatest seed stock operations from across the country. One that is no one new to the seed stock operation is certainly Stevenson High Altitude.
That's right. This is Stevenson Genetics, is what they call it, Stevenson Genetics High Altitude Sale. It was a sale that they actually hosted in Wyoming, and it was the Stevenson family. It was Stevenson Angus and Stevenson Diamond Dot. So they come together, and these are all going to be pap tested bulls. They sold them in Wyoming, and this was a really good sale with us. It was really active. I was here. This sale took place on RFD right after Sonderup was over.
And this was April 12th.
That's correct. We ended up selling 32 bulls on there for almost $141,000, and that was right at a third of the sale. So it was really, really active on our end. We actually had some of our customers become volume buyers on this sale too, so it was nice to see that.
That's really great. And for Stevenson, how long have they been with Superior Productions?
Longer than I've been with Superior
Oh,
Productions.
okay, yeah. So the reputation, everything is already there.
That's right. Joe Lichty used to handle all their stuff before I was here, and now before John was here. So they've definitely been with us for quite some time.
Okay, great. Well, I think we do want to give a recap of the front end of their sale. Do you remember who the auctioneer was on that?
On that one,
Stevenson?
it's probably Joe Goggins, but I can't remember for sure because we had so many.
Yeah.
auctions
Oh, yeah. That was right. Okay.
week.
Well, folks, we do want to show you just a few lots from Stevenson Genetics High Altitude Bull Sale. Take a look.
85 now, 7.5. 7.5, 7.5, there, have 9,000. Now 9, now 9, now 2.5. 2.5, have 92, 50, 2.5. Anybody else? I'm on a Sally. 92.5. One more time. 2.5, there, have 97, Hoover, 10 sign. 97, now 10,000. Now 10. 95, now 7.5. 97, have anybody else there? Now have 97.5. Hadn't cost you a dime yet. 97. I have anybody else hands. I've got to go 97.5. I sold a bull $9,500.
Well, after Stevenson High Altitude, we went on over the next day to 5L Red Angus. How did that end up?
It was a great sale. Larry Melhoff family is who owns and operates 5L. Ron Bowles is kind of their marketing guy, but you can tell they've definitely put their work in. This was a great sale, and it was a big sale too. They sold right around 300 lots, and Superior actually bought 60 lots for $212,000.
Hey,
so
not bad.
That's right. It was a real busy sale, and there's another one of those where we had one of our SLA customers get on there and buy a bunch of bulls, and the sale was over several hours, but we were certainly bidding a lot on there.
Oh, that means so much. And truly with volume buyers, that just shows that the reputation, the integrity, and the genetics of these bulls, they're working because so many of our customers are buying them in bulk.
No, that's right. And especially on some of these customers of SLA that are buying these bulls in volume, you'll see them in a year or so when they've got a calf crop selling on Superior in the Superior Progressive Genetics program with 5L or Stevenson or whoever it is ranch logo there when this calf sell.
Yeah, and people just realize how important that is to see their logo up there. It's not only for the consignor, but also for the buyer, just proving what high genetics and progressive genetics, rather, that they do have in their herd.
It instantly lets the buyers recognize a quality set of cattle. And from the studies that were done by Colorado State this last year, there's definitely a premium for calves that qualified for progressive genetics.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I think we do also have a few high sellers from 5L folks, so take a look at what took place there at the ranch on Friday, April 13th.
As reasonable as they can, but I think sometimes, you know it as well as I do, Jim, that sometimes when we crank these things loose, it's just let's better move.
You bet. Help yourselves here. Give me 5,000. Yes, I'm an 5. You're going to give 5, very bottom, and anybody give $5,000, very bottom, and anybody gets 7.5. You're going to give 5, very bottom, and anybody give 5. Here we go. Yes, for 7, now 5, now 2.5. 5 bid, 2.5, very bottom, and anybody give 5, 250 on it. Yes, 5 bid, 2.5, very 5 bid, now 2.5, very bottom, and anybody give 5, 2.5, very bottom, and anybody give 5, 250 on it. Yes, 5,000, 2.5. You're out Superior. Give me 2.5, very bottom, and anybody give 5, 250 on it. I got 5 bid. Give me 2.5, very bottom, and anybody give 5, 2.5, very bottom, and anybody get 2.5. Sold it at $5,000. Ron's way. $5,000 got him.
Well, after 5L, we got into Saturday, April 14th with just a ton of auctions all day long. And we did have Ridgefield Farms, and I think they even have a branded beef program there in North Carolina with their Braun V cattle. Good auction?
They do. It was a good auction since we did have 3 auctions that day with LeGrand being the first one starting at 10 a.m. and going all the way till 9 o'clock at night. I was pretty busy with that one, but people are always asking how do we broadcast multiple auctions at the same time, and we've obviously got multiple rooms set up and soundboards and ways to stream the audio and video and everything. But this one was broadcast exclusively online, but it was still a very good auction, especially for being Braun V cattle over in North Carolina. That's the only sale we have in North Carolina right now, and that's not a breed of cattle that we do a lot of sales for, but it was good. We ended up selling about 10% of the sale over Superior.
Great. That's really good. Well, I've never been to the East Coast. Maybe I can go next time if they have it with us. Yeah. Ludwigson was next. I always get that, such a tongue twister for me, but how did they end up?
They had a really good sale. It was their first time to be broadcast with Superior, and it was actually broadcast on rural TV, the entire sale was, because we had LeGrand going on RFD at the same time. But it was a great sale. I really could not believe how well the front end of those Red Angus bulls sold. I mean, they had bulls selling on the front of that. I mean, 15 to 20,000 plus. I had a guy who called in and he ended up buying 3 bulls, but willing to go in that 8,500 to 10,000 range, and he sat on the phone for a while before he finally got a few bought.
Wow.
And I had him on the phone,
Yeah.
so I just ran upstairs to get that one started while we had LeGrand going
Oh my
on.
goodness.
We got caught on the phone with him, but it was really good. We sold quite a few bulls for this first-time client of ours. But you'll also see Ludvigsen with us back this fall, and they'll be a customer of ours for quite some time. But Ryan Ludvigsen does a great job marketing, and you'll also see him out at Steamboat, Colorado, and at Winnemucca this
Oh yeah.
this
Oh,
summer,
you know
'cause
what?
he
I
comes
did
to
see that.
Marcus.
Yeah, right. I did see them in Winnemucca. They had they took up the whole corner with all their marketing efforts, which was awesome.
That's
Which was
right.
really good. Well, we love first-time clients. I think we do have this video, and maybe we can show a few of those
We can do that.
front-end lots. Well, here, folks, take a look at what happened there at the Ludvigsen auction.
12 now 15 on it. It's 12 and up 15 where bottom and W 12 13 14 now 14,000 on it. 13 big and be 14 14 now 15 where 14 5 now 15 now 16. It's 15 now $16,000 where now 16 now 17 17 18 on it. It's 17 gonna give 18 18 where bottom 18 give me 19 19 20. It's 19 now 20 where 19 gonna get 20 now 1 where bottom and W 21,000. 20 big give me 21 where bottom and W 20 now 1. It's 20 big give me 21 gonna get $21,000 where bottom and W 21,000 on it. 20 been a 21 where bottom and W 20 now 1. Here we go. You're gonna get 21 20 been a 21 where bottom and W 20 now 1. Sold him $20,000 your way, Jeff. $20,000 got him.
Are you ready? The Working Ranch Cowboy Association brings you Championship Ranch Bronc Riding. Saturday, May 26th in Amarillo, Texas. 40 men will go head-to-head and 10 women will compete for more than $25,000 in payout. Not to mention a concert with the Josh Abbott Band. Wild rides, wrecks, and bucking horses. It's gonna be a good time. For more information, log on to WRCA.org.
Well, welcome back to Auction Block. Jason's going to get into more detail about the LeGrand Angus Ranch complete dispersal that happened on Saturday, April 14th. Like you've said at the top of the show, we sold a lot of cattle for them, and it really went well.
It did. This is a sale that is a complete dispersion, like Katie said, but they grossed almost $2.5 million on this sale. So it was an excellent one. They did have over 900 lots. A lot of those were semen and embryo lots, though, about 400, close to 430.
Oh, wow.
So we've been working on our timed auctions, which is going to be a big marketing piece for Superior in the future. We've been trying to come up with a way to get this launched properly, and we found it on this LeGrand sale. They wanted to expedite the selling process of the semen and embryo lots on Saturday. So what we did was set up a timed auction for all those semen and embryo lots, and it started on the Monday before the sale. So people went in there and they could bid on them, and then at noon on Friday, those 430 lots closed out, 10 lots at a time over a 3.5 hour period. And then the people who were high bidder on that was notified. And then on Saturday when we got those lots, which was right at 5 p.m. Central Time, I believe, right about the time we went to rural TV is when we switched over and finished selling all the live lots. But when we got on there, they had an opening bid on pretty much every lot. And if someone from the crowd wanted to go ahead and bid, then they would go ahead and have a regular auction. But if nobody did, then it actually closed out to the people who were a high bidder from the timed auction.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it did speed things up.
Yeah, that is good.
But it was good. But just the whole LeGrand auction was really great. We had phones up and people on click to bid. I mean, there's like 60 people in the box on click to bid. There's just bids the entire time.
And being on RFD all day and then moving to rural TV, I mean, that's
great.
a long
it's
auction.
good marketing for them.
Yeah.
But we had 291 people sign up for this auction.
Oh my gosh.
That's a ton.
That's huge.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But we ended up selling 200 lots to 23 different states. So it was real busy, and this was one where we promoted it pretty hard. If you get our Superior Livestock Auction commercial sale catalogs, you would have seen LeGrand ads in there since January.
Or on Sunrise.
That's right, on Sunrise. I believe you probably produced that
Yeah,
spot too,
I think
didn't you?
so.
We did that. We had banner ads on the graphics, those L-shaped graphics during the Superior Livestock Auction sales. Sent out e-blasts.
American Rancher.
American Rancher was a huge marketing piece for them. And I know, talking to Matt Sims, who managed the sale, they got lots of catalog requests after this was over. Or actually, after their American Rancher had run prior to the sale, and they sure had great response from that. And I mean, you can tell from the number of people we had register and from the dollar amount that was sold, and we sold close to $300,000 worth for them. And you know, like we always talk about, if you're selling several $100,000 worth of cattle, you're bidding just completely through the sale.
Yeah, wow. And 291 registered buyers. I mean, that's a lot of people.
That's probably as many people that I've seen register for any sale since I've been with Superior.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, switching gears just a little bit, let's kind of talk about the American Rancher and how it helps some of the seed stock operations. Like you said, Matt Sims, a testimony that the American Rancher really skyrocketed getting their catalogs to folks, and other customers that you deal with certainly use the American Rancher as an outlet.
Well, that's right. I know we showed an excerpt out of the American Rancher from a few weeks with Matt and Lance both on there, but we've got several clients who use this marketing avenue, and I believe that is the most aggressive marketing avenue that we have. And to me, this American Rancher show not only provides a good informative show that's entertaining for people, but it's so great as far as bringing in new customers and creating new business. And our clients who have realized this and used it, I know have really seen a great return on investment. But it's a really good program. Just some of the ones that we've had use it lately. I know Jack Holden did an American Rancher segment. 44 Farms you'll be seeing on there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, Geyer Cattle, we promoted his dispersal back in January really heavily.
Star Lake.
And then Star Lake, I was just there shooting yesterday. I'm sunburned from being outside all day yesterday shooting this. But they probably use the American Rancher on an annual basis year-round more than anybody, and I mean, it really hit some home runs for them.
Right, and I think the American Rancher, not only is it hosted by cowgirl icon Pam Minnick, which, you know, everyone is familiar with Pam, but also it really gives an in-depth look into these families and operations. Not only do you see what they do on the seed stock end of things, but you really get to know the family, and if they have children or grandchildren, and usually these are generation after generation after generation of ranching folks, and I think that once you get to know someone a little bit better, or at least through the American Rancher, that might just twist your arm a little bit more to spend that extra few thousand on a progressively genetic bull.
They do. Just all that ties together and everything builds off everything. But Joel Walters, he does a really good job producing the show and does a very professional job. And I guarantee that every one of our clients is extremely happy with the end result and the finished product of doing a show on there.
And I think too, some folks realize, or if they think, gosh, the American Rancher, a 30-minute program on RFD TV, that must be a ton of money. But really, if they call and visit with you and you all work up some kind of marketing plan, it really can be pretty reasonable.
That's right. I mean, we're always going to try to formulate a plan that's going to meet our clients' budgets. But it's really cost effective when you see the end result that it provides. But I mean, just having our seed stock clients on there, you've seen Nolan Ryan on there before. The Bellamy brothers. R.A. Brown Ranch is one of our clients who had a show back last fall before their bull sale.
Lucas Oil.
So
from
there's plenty of big names.
You'll be in good company being on the American Rancher. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're actually going to have the general manager of Superior Productions, Mr. Joe Lichty. He's going to visit with us about the commercial cattle market, also Legends in Ranching, the horse sale that's going to take place
at
Colorado State just here in a few weeks, and really just talk about the summer season with Superior Livestock Auction and where we're going to be all summer long. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Join Superior Livestock on Friday, May 11th at noon Central for our Superior Dairy Auction, featuring dairy replacement heifers and springers on RFD TV. To consign your cattle, contact Superior Livestock today at 800-422-2117. Learn more about our upcoming auctions at superiorlivestock.com and market your cattle the Superior way. The Superior Spring Horse Auction will be Saturday, May 12th, live on RFD TV. From all around ranch horses, roping, reining, and cutting horses, this Superior auction is not to be missed. If you're in need of a Superior horse, what are you waiting for? Call us today for your buyer number at 800-431-4452 or go online to see the horses at superiorlivestock.com. Well, welcome back to Auction Block. We do have the Superior Productions Manager with us, Mr. Joe Lichty. Joe, thanks for being here.
Sure. Thank you for having me on.
We've had Joe on the show in just the past few weeks, and we wanted to bring him in just to talk a little bit more about the American Rancher and what a great outlet that is for so many of our seed stock customers. And in addition, we're getting ready for our summer season, so talk about a little bit about the cattle market.
Okay.
And then we'll go into Legends of Ranching, and the folks at home know all about Legends and Ranching.
Sure.
And Jason says that you actually are on site for there each year.
Yes, I am. I've been going up there the last couple of years. I actually have a couple of nephews that play football at Colorado State, so when we're there, we get to say hi to them. They're right in the middle of their spring game, where they have workouts and then they have their spring game there. Usually about the same time we're there, so we just dinner is about it. So
well, two birds with one stone, that's for sure. So Jason was just talking. We just recently recapped the Grand Angus Ranch dispersal. Jason talked heavily about what an influence the American Rancher show was actually for them with sale catalogs, new bidders, so on and so forth. Talk about the American Rancher. You are the manager of Superior Productions. How much does that really help our seed stock operations?
Well, I think it helps out a lot because, we advertise the auction and the date and everything, but there's always a story about that family that needs to be told. It's always interesting, how long they've been in business, the genetics that they've developed, and they have customers too that use their genetics and depend on them for the seed stock that they use in their operation. But that story behind the auction, there's one, no matter what whatever we're selling, equine or cattle or there's a story behind there that we like to tell, and the producer of the show, Joel, does a good job of capturing the essence of those places. So.
Well, one other thing that I wanted you to visit with our audience about is and some people may not know this, but Joe's really the first person that got this absentee bidding and everything at these production sales, and there's so many companies now that also try to broadcast sales, but it all started with Joe and here at Superior.
Well, when back in the early '90s, we Superior was going really well, and we had an auction every other week, so we had to fill in something to do between auctions. So this is one of the things that we developed. We had video cameras and we had the editing equipment, and then we had the talent, to do that. So we looked beyond just doing the livestock auctions and started doing the purebred auctions and started videoing them. And back then, I was probably told 150 different times that nobody would ever buy a bull or a cow watching it on video. But if you look at our sales schedule this past spring and the success we've had, I'm not saying anybody was wrong, but I'm just saying, making a point.
Well, I think the numbers speak for themselves. How about that?
How about that? Yeah.
And all over, across the country, like Jason and I, we were just talking about Ridgefield Farms, all the way in North Carolina. And then again, we have in the Midwest and the West Coast. It's really across the country.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, and I know Joe started, but if you look at our list of clients right now, they're the absolute top names in the seed stock industry, and just going through the sale recaps and the results that we've given, there's so many of them where we've sold, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 worth of cattle for them in one sale.
Yeah, yeah, that's really impressive. And I got to hand it, Jason's been real involved in helping build this business. How long have you been with us now?
This is my sixth year with us. Thanks.
And he's been real instrumental in getting this thing going really good and strong. And I'm real proud when you look at our website and you look at the customer and the quality of cattle and the quality of people. Keith Stevenson at Stevenson Angus, up there in Montana. We interviewed him for the American Rancher in the 90s. I'm going to say 97, 98. And he said, good cows come and go, but it's the relationships you make with the people that maintain everything. So.
And it's funny you bring up Stevenson, because Katie and I were talking about the Stevenson genetics sale earlier, which was Stevenson Angus and Diamond Dot together. But Katie asked how long Stevenson had been a customer of Superior. I said longer than I've been with Superior. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They're one of your first ones, weren't they?
Very first ones, yeah.
Well, and I think, too, what's so instrumental in all these purebred auctions, the seed stock operations, is Superior Progressive Genetics. So you, talking about quality of cattle, Progressive Genetics goes hand in hand with that.
It does.
Talking about Superior Progressive Genetics and moving to the more commercial side of things, our summer season's coming up here right before we know it, we're going to be on the road.
Right. And our first stop will be in Council Bluffs, Iowa, right there near Omaha, and it'll be our first slug of Montana calves from High Tech Marketing, and that kind of sets the pace for the rest of the summer. We'll get a lot of farmer feeders from that area to come to the sale, and they'll have a good time at the Ameristar Casino and Resort. And, we'll be doing sunrise, I'm sure, from there. And so we're looking forward to that. And of course, Steamboat Springs is right around the corner, Winnemucca, Sheridan, and then end up in Denver for that last one. So we're looking forward to that. Looking for another good marketing season, and prices are going to be good. And I think some of the good genetics that we've been selling, over the last couple of years will sure help those sellers get the most for their cattle.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think, and then talking about purebred, we're going to jump over to Legends and Ranching. You've been going there for quite some time at Colorado State University, which is a little bit unique to Superior.
Sure, it is, and it's a really neat program, the Equine Sciences program. They're run by Gary Carpenter. He does a tremendous job there. The sale is sponsored by Purina, so they help pay for the cost of broadcasting it, and we help promote their product that they sell. And a lot of good, they call it the Legends of Ranching Horse Sale, and there are some top, ranches that put horses in that auction. The Haythorne Ranch and Wagon Hound, Four Sixes, yeah, Cowan, Crowfoot, Saunders, yeah, from around here. Yeah.
And it's a neat broadcast because it's one where we broadcast the actual event live and stream it on SuperiorClickToBid.com.
Right. What we do is Mitchell and I will go out in the morning. They have a preview at 10 a.m. and we'll record the preview, and then during the sale we'll cue that footage up and play it back, and then we'll have a live camera feed, and we'll just intersperse and edit. Go between the preview footage and what's actually happened in the ring. It's always very well attended. There's a lot of people there, and then a lot of folks watching on the internet. It's an internet broadcast.
And at Colorado State University, are a lot of the students, the equine students or animal science students involved?
Yes, and they show their horse.
Oh, okay.
They've trained these horses, and they'll they show them, they walk them in the ring.
And the prices are really good on all these horses.
Yes, yeah. It's a really good
And
sale.
so we're talking for the Legends and Ranching auction, it will be Saturday, April 28th.
That's right.
In beautiful Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, Joe, we just want to thank you so much for joining us on Auction Block this week. We sure appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, folks. Well, don't go anywhere. Auction Block will be back right after this. Join Superior Livestock Auction all summer long at our biggest cattle auctions of the year. Mark your calendars now. June 7th and 8th will be in Council Bluffs, Iowa for our Corn Belt Classic. Followed by the largest family reunion in the cattle business, Week in the Rockies in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, June 25th through the 29th. Let's not forget about our good friends in our western region as we take over the town of Winnemucca, Nevada for a full week of fun July 23rd through the 27th. How about taking a trip to the Bighorn Mountains in beautiful Wyoming? Superior Livestock will be having our annual Bighorn Classic in Sheridan, Wyoming, August 13th through the 17th. Lastly, our Labor Day auction will wind up the summer season from Denver, Colorado, September 5th through the 7th. For more information, log on to SuperiorLivestock.com, and we'll see you this summer. Well, welcome back to Next Stop Auction Block. We're going to talk about express ranches again up there in Yukon, Oklahoma. I feel like we talk about them on quite a few shows, but not only are they a great operation, they have another auction coming up with us here pretty quick.
They do. They've got the grass time sale coming up here at the end of April. But it'll be a great auction. We actually just got some footage in, so we'll have a little preview of that here in a minute. But they'll be selling 600 head. Actually, we just got the catalog here. But
great.
They'll be selling 130 Angus bulls, and 28 of those sons are going to be from the really popular Keneally Consensus 7229 bull, who I know we've sure previewed a bunch of his sons in this show this spring.
Right.
But they'll have a good offering. They'll also be selling some registered Angus pairs. They'll also have some AI commercial Angus females from a couple different ranches. They'll also be selling some show heifer prospects. So it's going to be a really good select group of cattle being offered for sale.
And is the sale going to take place at the ranch?
That's right. It'll be there at the ranch. It's actually on Friday, April 27th. The sale will start at noon Central. And speaking of our producer meetings earlier, I talked to Kevin Hefner yesterday, and he's going to try to be at our producers meeting in Ada, Oklahoma here the first part of May.
Oh, great. And he actually works closely with Express Ranches.
He is. Him and Gerald Callahan. Of course, Gerald's the vice president, but Kevin's really the guy who takes care of the bulls. And I think sure does a lot of the marketing and sure does a great job, and he's who I deal with on a regular basis up there.
And Kevin, he actually is a Superior Livestock rep as well, right?
Kevin and Gerald both are, and you'll see a big commercial female sale hosted at Express Ranches in conjunction with Superior Livestock Auction in August, and I know you were part of that sale
last year. And I know we've talked about this before, but their operation and where they have the sale and everything, there's Grand Champion banners and flags just everywhere, and their genetic program is some of the best, second to none in the country, really.
That's right. It's a real pretty place, and it's located there at Yukon, Oklahoma, so it's really just a suburb
I think
of Oklahoma
that's
City.
a hometown of Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, that's right.
That's exactly right. All right, well, like Jason said, we do have a few videos in-house for Express Ranches, so let's just quit talking about them and show them. Here's a preview of what will be offered on sale day. Well, after the Express auction, their grass time sale on Friday, April 27th, we're going to move into the first week of May, and we're going to get right into Larson, Hoffman, and Top, their sale with us on Saturday, May 5th.
That's right. This will be their second production sale with us. It'll be broadcast exclusively online. We've got to get these cattle videotaped here pretty soon. We got to get that scheduled with Eddie Sims, who was also a guest here just a couple weeks ago. But Eddie manages this sale, and I'm sure he's probably going to sell it as well. But this will be another a good sale. It'll have Hereford cattle that are going to be brought in from Hoffman Herefords there in Thedford, Nebraska, and also from Top Herefords, along with Larson's, who are located here at Meridian, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Where the sale's at.
Great, and this is their second year with us, because I feel like I've seen their production sale or some of their ads last year.
That's right. This is their second time with us.
Okay. Well, on talking about Herefords, the next auction that we're going to have is Star Lake Cattle Company, which you are very familiar with. And talk about Star Lake, what they're going to be offering, and when their auction is.
Well, we actually do round out the entire purebred sale season with 2 Hereford auctions, so we ended on a good foot.
Hey, you're a little biased, a little biased.
But no, Star Lake, it's a big Hereford operation up there at Skytook, Oklahoma. I was actually at the ranch yesterday shooting stuff for their new American Rancher show that's going to air here about the very end of April. But they've really got a good offering up there. We looked at a bunch of young 2-year-old cows that had calves on their side. But Monty Souls, who's actually going to be a guest on the show here for next week, will be here, and he'll go into more detail about it. But they've definitely got a great offering of cattle. They look good. We're scheduled to go up there and get them videoed here in another week or two. And of course, you can see videos of not only Star Lakes, but the Larson Hoffman Top sale offering. Once we get them videotaped, they'll be online at superiorlivestock.com.
Oh, great. And the Star Lake Cattle Company, their auction is Saturday, May 19th on RFD?
I believe so. It's the third Saturday in May every year. So
yeah, I think we're looking at May 19th
is
here.
Is that 19th or the 17th?
I think the 19th.
Okay, well, you're right.
I think we're right. Hey, this is your calendar. I'm just reading what it says, okay?
Okay, sounds good to me.
And
Whatever you say.
Star Lake Cattle Company, they're known nationwide for numerous championships at the Denver Stock Show. Great Hereford cattle, great genetics.
They are. They're one of the most recognized Hereford outfits out there. They also market as heavy as any outfit out there. If you ever open up a Hereford World, you'll see their ads right there on the inside cover, I believe. At least the inside cover of the first page or two. But they advertise in there on a monthly basis, and they use the American Rancher year-round. But they definitely know how to promote Hereford cattle.
Yeah, well, we love that. We love Star Lake Cattle Company and Larson Hoffman and Top. We're great to have them on board too. So when we come back, folks, we are going to close out the show for another great week of Next Stop Auction Block. And Jason and I do want to sincerely thank you for tuning in each and every week to hear what's going on in the cattle industry, and mainly for us to talk about our great seed stock operations from across the country. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
I've got some customers that have cattle ready all the time, and we were trying to find a faster way to clean out their traps and be able to sell their cattle for them. And we listed some on the country page, and they already had a reputation of selling cattle. And some guys came on and bought them, and said, hey, that worked pretty good.
The country page is really good for being able to take advantage of upswings in the market. Just being able to sell our cattle or getting them on available for sale immediately, because the market changes so fast nowadays.
Usually within, I'm going to say within an hour, I can call the office and I can have those cattle up. The cattle are highly represented and they're highly visible on the country page.
And the more people that see it, the better off that we're going to be able to market our cattle better, to get a better price for them, and get the fairest price for our cattle mainly.
So far so good, and I'm glad Superior added the country page to one of their ways of marketing cattle.
Well, welcome back to Next Stop Auction Block. I do have to tell you, I've had a lot of fun this spring season, and through Next Stop Auction Block, we've been able to talk about all of our great seed stock operations, talk about our auctions, and really recap what a great season it's truly been.
That's right, and it's been a long season, it's been a big season, and a really good season. And I know at least our audience, they've certainly been able to see bulls from all across the United States, multiple breeds of bulls, and some really good clients that we've had showcase.
Yeah, and really great progressive genetics. And I know we love having the outlet of Next Stop Auction Block and Rural TV available to our customers, because I think we've even picked up a few new customers along the way, or at least a few that have really considered moving their auctions with us, which is cool.
Well, definitely, because this just adds to the marketing package that Superior offers, and on top of attracting new clients because of this show. We've also had existing clients who have called and said afterwards that people bought bulls after seeing us talk about their operation on this show. So
we love that.
That's exactly right. That's what it's all about. So it's been good.
Yeah. Well, transitioning here in the next few weeks, we're not too sure what Auction Block is going to do. We don't know if it's going to stay at an hour or move it to 30 minutes and still talk about purebred auctions with special guests, or if we are going to actually transition more into the commercial side of Superior Livestock Auction and preview what we're going to be having all summer long.
Right.
But we'll be making that decision here pretty quick, I think.
It'll probably be a strong possibility that this transitions into the commercial side of the company. But the great thing about working for Superior Livestock is there's never really a dull moment.
No.
When we finally wind down on these production sales, and I mean there has been a lot this spring, we get right into the busy summer sale season on the commercial sales. So.
Right, and that being said, the first week of June 7th and 8th, we're going to be in Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is just across the river from Omaha.
Well, you are, and now that we've got one more production sale that I completely forgot about, that I didn't print it out because I've just got the April and May calendar right here, but we're going to have Worm and Angus's dispersal. It's going to be that Monday and Tuesday, the week of Council Bluffs.
Oh, good. Well, Worm and Angus, they've been customers.
They've been customers. They've been clients of Superior for a long, long time, and they've really got, I mean, the absolute top-end genetics in the Angus breed.
Oh, great.
They're from Newmarket, Virginia, which is a beautiful historic town out there in Virginia, but they've sure raised really, really good cattle. They had a female sale and a bull sale, 2 sales a year with Superior for a long time, and anyway, Richard McClung will be having a complete dispersal out there, and it'll absolutely be one of the better Angus dispersals we see this year.
Oh, great! And that's just the week of Council Bluffs, just the first couple days of that week.
Monday and Tuesday, because I believe Joe will actually be up there at Council Bluffs, and I'll be out at Worman.
Okay, yeah, great. So Council Bluffs, Iowa, switching back over to Superior Livestock Auction. Our commercial auctions will be in Council Bluffs, Iowa, just right there across from Omaha, Nebraska. Beautiful place, great people. Great cattle being offered. That'll be June 7th and 8th. Then we'll move over to Steamboat Springs, Colorado to get out of this 110-degree heat, which we are so excited about, or at least I am. We'll be in Steamboat Springs at the Sheridan Resort for a full week. We'll have, once again, really great cattle. Then just the following month in July, for that third full week in July, we're going to be in Winnemucca, Nevada for the Video Royale. So going from one extreme to the other from Steamboat. But our rep, Jim Davis, does an incredible job there in Winnemucca. Winnemucca, and he really paints that whole town with
he
Superior
does.
Livestock Auction.
Well, you
barbecues.
can't go into any business without seeing a Superior Livestock Auction t-shirt, but Jim does a great job, and that's one of our two biggest sales every year, our Steamboat and Winnemucca, and some years we'll sell over 300,000 head of cattle in the Steamboat sale.
Yeah,
so it's a big one.
Yeah, that is incredible.
And Winnemucca is normally just about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller, but not by much. They'll both be 5-day sales every year.
Yeah, that is so incredible. Winnemucca is so fun, like you said. You can't go into anywhere without a Superior Livestock shirt or hat being seen.
Winnemucca's a fun sale. That's the one that I guarantee I make every single summer. I love that sale.
Yeah. Moving into the month of August, we'll be in Sheridan, Wyoming for the Bighorn Classic, which is a beautiful, beautiful scenic area right there at the bottom of the Bighorn Mountains. And there's a little hidden gem back there, and they're internationally known polo fields. And I caught a polo game. And it was beautiful, breathtaking. Then we'll round out the summer season in Denver, Colorado for our Labor Day auction the 1st of September.
That's right. We have 2 sales a year. We start our new year every year, the bell ringer sale there in Denver, and then we close out our summer season in Denver each year.
Yeah, well, it's just great. So there is truly never a dull moment here at Superior Livestock. Well, I think that's all we've got for this show.
Actually, you were showing me a picture of a belt buckle. I know we talked about
yes.
Your belt buckle
You always sneak this
design
in right
later.
at the last minute here.
How's that going?
It is going really good. Unfortunately, I didn't bring one of them today. I have my first prototype in. They just sent me another picture for the second one that will be in this week. I'm going to have a total of 6, but it is a company called Johnson & Held. They're out of Denver, Colorado, and we're going to be working hand in hand, and I think I'm going to have my own section on their website. It's going to have 6 to 7 designs, and we'll see where it goes. They'll be available for wholesale and retail and online. I know I need to show everybody. Well, I've already told you have to buy one for your beautiful wife, Jackie, so that's not an option.
I bet we can do that.
Well, good. Well, hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be able to bring them in because I'm pretty proud of them. I think I can't believe it's all happening. It just seems like yesterday they called and said, you want to do this? And I thought it was a joke at first, and it's not.
Well, at least I can say I knew you before you were famous.
Oh, gosh, get out of here. People are wanting your autograph way more than they're wanting mine.
Whatever.
All right, folks. Well, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Next Stop Auction Block, and we will be right back here at this time next week. Thanks so much.
See you next time.